Good. All right. Well, I got it all set up and recording.
Okay.
So thank you very much for joining me. I just need to, before we start, go over the eligibility criteria just to confirm.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, you can answer a question or choose to just say pass or whatever you want. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to jump in there.
Okay.
Are you at least 18 years of age?
Yeah.
Yes. How old are you?
I'm 25.
25. And are you a citizen of one of the following nations? Algeria, Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Morocco, Palestine, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Tunisia, UAE, and Yemen.
Yeah, I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Do you identify Allah as the one and only true God and a practitioner of Islam?
Yeah.
Are you pursuing an undergraduate or graduate degree here at the university?
Yeah, I'm a graduate student.
Graduate student, thank you. Are you a full-time registered international student?
Yeah.
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 That's always been a little sticky one.
Yeah.
Have you completed at least one academic year at the University of Maine in your program?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been here since fall 2014. I did my undergrad here.
Oh,
like
so you've been here a
half
while.
of my undergrad here.
Oh,
I
good.
transferred here.
So you've been here a while.
Yeah.
Well, great. Love Orono, so that's perfect. Well, awesome. So thank you very much. So we're just going to dive right in. Today's the day before Thanksgiving. I know it's a holiday break, so I'm sure you want to get off and try to enjoy. I think it's supposed to rain, but
Yeah.
I didn't see. I brought an umbrella, but
I have my umbrella too. I think it's supposed to start at 4, something like
the
that.
rain is
4,
going to
yeah.
start at 4?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, I got to walk around campus today, so we're good. Maybe I won't get dumped upon. So awesome. All right, so I'm just going to be very specific. I have a general research question, and then I have sub-research questions. The first question is, how do Muslim international students attending an institution of higher education describe their experience? So that's my general research question for my study. So as you know, this study is about Muslim international student experiences. I'd like to learn a little bit about you before you came to the United States and to the University of Maine. So I have 4 questions here. The first is, how would you describe your country's relationship with the United States?
Political view.
However you want to describe it. It's how would you describe your country's relationship with the United States?
Things like I don't like politics, and I don't like to I follow politics, but I don't like to comment on politics things. So I would say I would pass for this question.
You're going to pass on this
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Is there something that you could describe in terms of the relationship that's not political?
I think their relationship it's only politics.
It's only political. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. What did you know about the United States before arriving here?
There was a stereotype before I came in here, like they said. Americans are most of the Americans racist towards Muslims because of the things that happened like before, like some 9/11 or something. Before that, it was a stereotype. Like for example, and when I came in here, it was something different. Like nobody asked me like what religion you are, like where or even like where are you from. Like my first day in here, I met a guy from my department, and he asked me like where I'm from. Like he said Saudi Arabia, and like he was very welcoming me, and he's a friend of mine until now. So
That's great. How did you? You mentioned that the stereotype of Americans being racist or any other concerns and worries or things that you had heard or thought about the United States and Americans before getting here. How did you get that information? Like, where do you learn that information over there?
from people around there, I think they visited here, or they didn't have their experience was different than mine. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's from their experience. I guess.
Yeah. Do you hear any of that on TV or radio, or is it in your news, or just people, other people's experiences?
Just people's experience, I guess.
Fair enough. How did you have all this? How did you decide to come to the United States for your degree for higher education?
It wasn't my first choice. I was in Canada before that.
Uh-huh.
I had some problems with the university, and was my only choice to apply for universities, and one of the schools, it's Maine.
Oh.
I applied for a couple universities in Canada and here, and I just compared the university, like the transfer credits, and I got like they transferred most of my credits here. That's why I came in here.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So when you were in Saudi and you were looking to study abroad, so your first choice was Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you come to that determination?
I guess the school was very strong. The strong I was in.
Yeah? What program are you studying?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering, yeah. So how did you choose? You already said how you chose, well, I think you already said how you chose to come to Maine, right?
Yeah.
You applied for other schools, and this was one that accepted a lot of your credits and other things.
Yeah.
Were there any other reasons why you chose Maine?
I had friends here.
You had friends here? Yeah? Did you come alone, or did you come with family members?
Alone.
So you're here alone?
Yeah.
What did you think life would be like here in the United States before you came here?
I don't know. I didn't think of that one. Like, I think normal life. I don't know. Like, what do you mean, like, by having?
I don't know that I have anything particular in mind, but I think of, did you think, how did you think it would be different than Saudi Arabia?
Maybe freedom, a little bit of freedom.
Freedom?
I
Like
guess.
for what? Like how do you describe that freedom?
I have the rights to, like, my human rights, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that back home.
So what are some things that you can do here that's more free than you could do there?
I guess I could speak about the government if they have something wrong.
True.
But if I do that back home, I will be in trouble. So.
Absolutely. Were there any other, so freedom, that's a pretty important
Yeah.
part, right? I've heard that quite a bit actually, just in terms of the ability or the like comfort level,
Yeah.
feeling comfortable to be able to share thoughts, opinions a little more freely without repercussions. So I can understand that very much. What did you look forward to? I mean, you'd already been in Canada. You were coming to the United States. There's some similarities in
Yeah.
those two nations, certainly. So, were there anything specific that you looked forward to about coming here to school?
Like, what do you like? Looking for something?
So when you're,
Like-
so say you're talking to family and friends back home and you're like, oh, I'm transferring to the United States to go to school and I'm coming to the University of Maine. I look forward to,
I guess I was looking to change myself a little bit.
Yeah? Change yourself. How?
Be more social. I think my experience in Canada was like the Canadian was like not very outgoing with the international. They were like, I don't know. It was very hard to make friends with the Canadians, I guess.
Okay, so it's
But-
just very different experience
Yeah,
you're looking
yeah.
forward to.
Yeah.
More social. That's good. We have a lot of social questions coming, so that'll be. I will dive into that a little bit more, but I'm glad you brought that up because that will be there's a social component to this by far. Did you have any concerns when you were thinking, oh, I'm a little concerned about this, or I wonder what this is like, or anxious, or worries, or?
like coming to the US.
Yeah,
Any concern?
any. Yeah.
Probably
This is
I was,
anonymous, so
yeah,
it's okay.
probably I was worried about the immigration.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything in particular about immigration?
I have heard they take you like in a separate rooms and for integration or something, like they ask questions. They may hold you there for a couple hours or more.
Yeah.
I think that was my concern coming to the US.
Yeah, pretty big concern when
Yeah.
you start landing in that airport and
Yeah.
you're getting up to that gate and you're like, oh goodness, what's this going to be like, right?
But surprise, I had no problems with them.
There you go.
I went back home multiple times and I had no issues.
You've never.
No.
Oh, great. So the experience that you heard from people before you came here about discrimination or worry about racism or anything of those natures, and the immigration challenges, you have not
No.
have that experience. So that was actually one of those questions. Did you have any fears? The first question: did you have any fears of discrimination when you were first coming here? Having heard some of that, and
I have heard, but I haven't I didn't have this experience.
yeah. So and that follows through. How would you compare your expectation or your anticipation with your actual experience? And you haven't had any.
It's much different from my expectation, where like this way, like, and the actual is like this way.
Yeah.
It's like completely different.
Completely different.
Yes, like from going from east to west.
So that's great. I think that's great, right? I mean, when
Yeah.
you start to worry about it, what do you hear and how much of reality, and and other people have had those experiences,
Yeah.
so I don't want to minimize them, but I'm glad to hear that yours has not been to that. So the next sub-question to my research is, how do Muslim international students describe their academic experience here? And so this next set will be about academics, and then of course there's that social piece. So what has it been like for you to be a student here?
You mean like how I'm being treated as a student?
Yeah, in your classroom, any challenges with academics? Education here is very different than it is in Saudi Arabia and other nations in general. So just how would you just describe what it's like to be a student here?
I think I had been treated as a normal guy. Like they weren't looking at me like as like I'm international student. I have been treated like as other students, like Americans, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So the education system is different.
How's it different?
The way of teaching is different than back home. I didn't have like experience from like I didn't attend any university back home, but from my high school, for example. Comparing it to here, it's different.
Mm-hmm. How do they teach in the high school arena different? Like, how do they do that? What's different? Or how would you describe that?
I think they were focused on the like half of the course is like about the religion, and the religion it's not just one religion. It's the religion like Islam is, if you know, like Sunni and Shias.
Yeah.
And they were focusing on the Sunni part, not the Shia one.
Yeah.
I am Shia.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's unfair to attend something that it's not part of me. It's like I'm not part of this religion. I'm part of the Shia part.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So is that a public school or whatever they would identify as a public school?
Even if it's a private school, they have to. It's mandatory to teach that, I think.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's good to know. Are there other international students or even faculty members in your major, mechanical engineering? Are there other international students in your program?
There is international students. One of my capstone members was international. Um, there's a couple internationals now in the graduate program too. There's a lot, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the faculty, I think most of the faculty members in the mechanical are international.
Oh, really?
But I think they have the citizenship, but originally not from here.
Gotcha. So sort of immigrated, started
Yeah.
as international
Yeah.
students, maybe themselves in graduate school,
Yeah.
and then immigrated here.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, I did not know that. Are they international students from the Middle Eastern region? Are there other Muslim faculty or students? Or are they from, well, I don't even know if you know, but do you know if they're from other parts of the world or?
From the faculty, you mean?
Either.
I don't know about the faculty. I think most of them from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of them from India. This is the faculty. There is the students. There is one guy from Middle East. He's undergrad. He's from Saudi too. And there's a couple of guys I think from the UAE.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Do you think that has been helpful or beneficial for international students to have so many other international faculty or other peers there, or do you think that that's helped or not helped or just been indifferent?
I think it's normal. I don't feel like to see them like as international.
Sure.
I don't feel that. No. I think it's fine.
How would you describe your classroom experiences here at the university? So I do have some sub-questions that might be helpful. What are some academic challenges that you may have faced and the differences between the educational system in Saudi or even Canada, right, because you were there before, to here? So what are some any challenges that you may have faced in that transition here?
Maybe the language first.
Yeah.
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 The language first. Yeah. We are supposed to get like English courses back home, but it's not. It's like English Arabic thing, Arabic way.
Sure.
I don't know how to describe that, but like.
It's kind of like my French.
Yeah, it's like how did like it French like English?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're not immersed, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
when you're not actually using it, you're just learning it in a classroom,
Mm-hmm.
right? So did your high school or your pre-college education include English language classes then, or?
I started taking English courses first before starting my academic, like taking like engineering courses. I had 1 year and a half probably for English.
Here?
In Canada.
Oh, in Canada. Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
good opportunity. So the English language was a transition and difficult or something to work through.
Was difficult at the beginning, but I think classrooms not the only thing to have like English to get to know English.
Mm-hmm.
I think practice and get to know people and socialize with others might help.
Yeah.
Will help a lot actually.
Yeah, when you're using it outside the classroom. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Any other challenges or differences that you had to address or work through?
I think the reason of transferring from Canada to here, there was like a thing about international students there. For the first year, for my freshman year, they called like University 1, and after this we have to apply to like for the major to like.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to choose 3 majors, and they said that was like a new policy in there, and they said like for international students the requirements are higher than the local people. Yeah, so for example, the GPA was the required GPA to get into the majors was like 4.13 out of 5. but the Canadian was like their requirements was 3.25.
Did they say why that was, the differential was there?
No,
No.
no.
Steeper hurdle.
That's I think the reason I just said I'm done here.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Have you experienced any of those challenges here, that you international students have different academic expectations than other students?
I was treated normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have any difficulties.
Okay. Tell me about your interactions or experiences with various faculty. Like, do you have good relationships? Are they supportive in the classroom? Do they engage with you, or do you engage with them? Either.
I was like in touch with, or like I go out with him, even with one of my professors in my undergrad experience. He was the only one, I think he was outgoing, but other than him, I think most of them, they were like just in the university.
Mm-hmm.
But outside it's like we do know each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very different.
Yeah.
Was there? So that is one difference. Do you think that difference is from your undergraduate academic experience versus graduate school, or do you think that's just individual faculty member?
I think that's individual faculty member.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's different. I think based on the person himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how to describe this, but I don't know.
So do your faculty members then, so you don't have a social relationship with them outside of the classroom. How is it inside of the classroom? Or do you feel like they interact with you and treat you the same as everyone else? Or do you think, do they support you differently, or, have a better relationship?
As I said, like in the classroom, I have been treated as the others. So there is no difference between this student or the other. Outside the classroom, it's different, I think. To look at the some of them doesn't say hi, I think. So it depends on the professor, I think. It's I don't know why they. Not just for me. I think for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The relationship is strictly in the classroom.
Between the students and the faculty members, it's different. They want it to be professional, I guess.
Gotcha. So they don't even. You've seen people outside of class and they don't even say hi.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, right?
Yeah.
Do they recognize you?
They do.
And they
do.
acknowledge you in some way, but just
Yeah.
keep going. Huh. Okay. How about, tell me about your interactions or experiences with other students in your classroom, your classmates, or,
I was worried about this. Like, I had a problem with like socializing and making friends. I think I overcome this by like talking to others. I had my first friend I made like in classroom. He approached me, I guess, and he like introduced himself, and then I introduced myself, and then we became friends. He didn't ask me like where I am from or.
mm-hmm.
So I think they don't care where the person came from or something.
Mm-hmm. So you've mentioned this a couple of times in terms of the social interactions, and we'll get to some of that.
Yeah.
But do you think when you describe that, do you think it's because you're just shy and you?
I think that's I think me.
You're shy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that there's any component of that you're just worried about how people might see you, perceive you, or treat you? If they did ask you, some back to that conversation we had at the very beginning when, You talked about hearing about others' experience of maybe racial discrimination or not being treated very nicely once you got here. Do you think that played a part in any of your hesitation to reach out socially, or do you think I'm just shy?
I think it's just me. I'm shy.
Yeah.
When I see my other friends, they go, like, they speak with them. It's just me, I think.
Just a little more reserved than someone else. There you go. Hey, I get it. Have you had any experiences of discrimination in the classroom?
No.
Are any specific challenges, do you think, that being Muslim international students have an impact?
Not really. No.
Have you read, and I don't know if you are an active practitioner or not, but one of the things, have you had any challenges with prayer time, and it's, trying to find a location or having class, or, we're not a Muslim environment.
Yeah.
We don't have call to prayer, right?
Yeah, I
So
understand.
how does that, do you think that's impacted you here?
No, we do have a room here, the chapel room, so we use it to pray.
Yeah.
Sometimes I meet a couple guys there, like they have a meetings, like I think they speak about the Bible or something.
Mm-hmm.
I had no issues with them, and one time I asked them if I am bothering them or something, and they said no. They were very welcoming me and said it's the room is for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's been any challenges with that in your academic time? Again, well, Ramadan is in the summer, I think the last couple summers. Have you been here to take classes during Ramadan? Or
One time, 2015.
Yeah. So how was that experience to, take classes during a period of fasting all day in the summer?
It was challenging at the beginning.
Yeah.
I had to wake up like at 8 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
During Ramadan. It was very difficult the first week, I guess, but then I got used to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Were there any challenges where you had to, speak to your faculty members or classmates or anybody to say, hey, I need to adjust adjust a group time or homework, or adjust class time, or at least let your faculty member know that something may be a challenge as related to Ramadan, or you were just able to?
I was able to manage that, so yeah.
Okay. Overall, and you've been here undergraduate, graduate,
Yeah.
you're 4 years, right? Overall, how would you describe your academic experience as a Muslim international student here at the University of Maine?
How to describe?
How would you describe your academic experience as a Muslim international student here at the University of Maine?
Can you specify it more?
So would you describe it as an overall positive experience? Just overall, overall it's been okay, and I've been able to, you've talked about overcoming some English language challenges, the other challenges. Do you think it's been typical experience like everyone else, even a non-international or even a non-Muslim student just transitioning to higher education and coming from a high school and having to change? So this is just generally speaking. How would you describe your experience here?
I think it's normal, same as the other international students. Like for the international who doesn't speak English very well, or their English is not their first language.
Right.
I think it's normal to have these difficulties at the beginning, and then once you dive in there, it will be different.
Sure. Yeah. Adjustment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. So the next questions focus on your experiences within the university and community. So not just in the classroom and academics, but it could be, socially within all of campus or even outside of campus. And again, these are your experiences from your perspective. Tell me about your social interactions and experiences since you've arrived. You've shared a little bit that you were kind of shy, not necessarily reaching out to people and building those relationships, but 4 years later, how would you describe your social interactions and experiences here?
I think people here are outgoing. They welcome everyone, and that's why they give me the encouragement to go out and just say hi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess saying hi to people or even just asking questions about other stuff, like it will give me the encouragement to even like have friendship from there.
Yeah. So actually one of the questions is how friendly or accepting have others been? And so do I hear you saying that people have been very friendly and accepting and even encouraging to you to feel more comfortable reaching out to people?
Yeah. I had no issues. I actually making friends in here. It was very at the beginning. I was shy, but at the end, like, just say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
It all starts with a 2-letter word, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's how to describe it about it.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
I think you did. What were some challenges? Describe any challenges you faced adjusting to living here in the United States. You talked a little bit about English language, right? Any other challenges adjusting to the United States or to even Maine?
I think the culture maybe
Yeah?
different from my culture here.
Like how? What were some differences that you particularly note?
I guess like just in general the culture. I don't know anything like specific things. Like yeah.
Were there any things that you missed? How about that? What are some things maybe that you missed from home?
I think family, just family.
Family?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if you're here. I mean, I remember what it's
Yeah.
like to be away from family, miss family. How about like food items? Any particular food items or drinks or, sometimes how easy it is to find clothes or,
I had no problem with food. I think my friends they missed back homes because of food, but
Yeah,
I had no issues with food.
yeah,
I cook,
yeah,
so that's
There
I think
you go.
that's why
yeah.
I had
How about with some of our laws and like driving or, do you drive here?
yeah.
So how is that different to get a driver's license or insurance and figuring all that out?
I use my driving license from back home.
Yeah.
It's international, so that's why I use it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the laws is different from back home. For example, the stop sign in here, it's very. I have to stop in here, but back home, no one cares.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, even like they respect here. They respect the pedestrian, like the walk pedestrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they respect it very much. We don't have that. I think we do have that back home, but it's not very. No one respect that.
So is it like Frogger? Do you know the game Frogger? Yeah, the old arcade game Frogger with people trying to cross the road and you're trying
Oh
to
yeah.
dodge cars. Is that what?
Yeah.
So when you talk to me about, trying to the crosswalk, and I'm thinking trying to dodge cars is what I envision in my head. So you don't have crosswalks back home, and people just cross where they can. And
We do have, but it's nobody respect that. Like,
well, that's different, yeah.
yeah,
Whereas here,
yeah.
sometimes people don't, but for the most part, that's true. They pay attention. Let's see. Do you participate in any campus or even community life clubs or organizations or groups?
I want to.
You want to?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more. What do you mean you want to?
I was at the beginning of this semester. I was trying to make like the Saudi club, like for like about the culture and stuff. Like they have like a couple of clubs in here for like international students who
Sure,
represent their countries. I wanted to create this like or start this club in here, but no one wanted to participate, so that's why.
None of your other Saudi friends or
I asked
students
them.
here, and they just didn't want to?
I asked them, but they didn't reply back, so
Gotcha.
I guess they do want to participate.
Do you think it's they don't want to, or do they maybe don't have time,
think they
or
don't
they're
have-
just quiet?
I think that I think the main reason is they don't have time.
They don't have time.
Yeah.
Any other clubs? Do you participate? I know, like on Friday, is it every Friday? They have like the international
Coffee hour.
Coffee hour.
I go there, yeah, most
Yeah.
of the time.
Yeah.
Most of
So, do you go to? Are you part of the Islamic Center of Maine? Do you participate in any other regular groups or
No.
no other clubs? Mechanical engineering? Do they have like a mechanical engineering?
There is a club in there, yeah.
student group. Are you?
There's a club for the mechanical engineering, but I'm not a member of there. I'm a member of the engineering club.
So what do those clubs do? Do they get together regularly or?
I was attending the first meetings in there, but and then I got busy with the other courses. So I just stopped going there. But they I think the main goal of that club is to help the students, the engineering students, like giving free tutoring and stuff like that. There is a couple things they do for like the community, I think. But I wasn't part of that, so.
So these clubs, do they bring in guest speakers or do they help with internships or finding any like academic connections, or are they social connections? You mentioned tutoring, so there's an academic component where they help with tutoring. But do they do anything like that's fun to promote, having those connections with other students or?
Like you mean like having like having like for example.
So let's say, an example, new students to the university, and it's off the top of my head, new students to the university coming in, hey, come join us at the engineering club, right? And here, all these students could meet if their schedule allowed, right? Could be once a month, every other week, whatever. And they get to know who else is in the engineering department. They get to do tutoring. Maybe they find social connections and they say, hey, I did an internship here. This might be a good place for you to go. It's just a way of networking and just maybe developing friends because you're just new to the university or mentoring.
I think every year or every semester they invite new students. They pick like the top 10 of the class, I think, and then they invite them. They give them like a introduction about what they do, and then they ask them if they want to be a member of the club. So no one outside the club has attend the meetings. It has to be a member.
Oh, so it's not open to everybody.
No.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So it's a closed group.
Yeah.
Invitation only.
Yeah.
for those that are really, sounds like really academically involved or academically successful.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Let's see. How did you learn about these activities? Were you invited to participate?
I was invited for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you learn about the ability to make a Saudi club?
I was talking to one of the multicultural of like Steve. Yeah, he works here at the multicultural office, the multicultural office, and then he told me about like, do you want to start this club?
Oh, hey, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So do you come up here to the Multicultural Student Center often?
Yeah.
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 So it's a good place to hang out. I've hung out there for.
Probably every day.
Oh, every day? Huh. I used to hang out here quite a bit, but it was a few years ago. So, well, that's good. So that's a good connection for you to meet people and to meet other. Yeah. How did you choose the activities or groups that you participate in?
How do I choose?
Yeah.
I guess from friends, connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I get invited from friends, and
Yeah.
then I just join them.
Yeah. So is that how you, for example, is that how you got connected with the Multicultural Students Center up here?
I think because I guess when I came in here, it was like one of the welcoming places.
Yeah.
That's why I like to hang out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is welcoming.
Yeah.
Yep. And they do, I don't know, how did you first find out about it? From a friend, or were they having an event?
I think from the international office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that they do a lot of events
Yeah.
and gatherings and social things about bringing people together here. So that's a good thing to do and be a part of, certainly. Have there been any experience of discrimination in the social realm? You know, whether it's here or, participating in any of your groups or activities here?
Discrimination?
Yeah. Do you feel like there's been any problems or challenges or treated differently?
No.
And I figured your answer might be that.
Yeah.
It's been that way for the whole thing. How has your participation in university life, like the classes, the engineering group, the Multicultural Center, International Coffee Hour, how do you think participation in these events has impacted or affected your overall experiences here?
I think it changed me personally a lot to change me, you mean academically or like it's just...
Either way. So you say it's changed you personally, right? The
Yeah.
participation and, how do you think you've changed from before participation in outreach to now? How?
I think it gave me the courage to be myself, I guess, and be outgoing, socialize more. I don't know. I don't know what to say more.
Do you feel more comfortable reaching out to people, or, it sounded like at the very beginning you talked about how you were invited to be a part of these groups, and then when you got there you're like, oh, this is comfortable. So, do you feel like you're really comfortable in these, that now you're going out and inviting others to do something more to expand. So like I hear you wanting to do the Saudi club. So now you're, like you said, doing more outgoing, encouraging you to participate more. And
I'm just lost a little bit right now.
it's okay.
Can you repeat the question again?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just trying to clarify what you were saying. So you were saying that being a part of these clubs has been very encouraging for you. You've changed because you're a little more outgoing and much more social, and it's encouraged you to reach out and participate in some stuff. So I was just trying to clarify, and what I hear is that way back when we first started, you were talking about how you were invited to participate or join people at some of these events. Mm-hmm. And now you're feeling much more comfortable because you like that, and you're feeling more comfortable and confident in who you are and reaching out. Would that be true?
Yeah. Actually gave me the courage even to participate or be part of the other clubs around the campus.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be part of the Islamic club in here, but I don't know who's the president or who's leading that group. It's a positive thing. Gave me a positive thing. So
yeah. So how would you go about finding who was the president of this Islamic group and reaching out to them?
I think if I asked one of the multicultural officers here, I think they will.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
So they'll help you. Good. So they're a really good resource too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next is how do Muslim international students just describe their perceived needs for enhancing their collegiate experience? So, for instance, what do you think you need to enhance your experience here? So what strengths, so the first question, that was just my overall question. What strengths or strategies do you possess as a person that has supported your success here?
I think I'm praying as of my religion.
Right, I mean, right, you're smart. You can academically succeed here, right? Yeah. You're in higher education. So you're smart.
Yeah.
What are some strategies or other strengths that you possess that have allowed you to be successful?
Hardworking, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, hardworking. In what ways have these strengths supported you? How do you think being smart and hardworking has helped you be successful here?
I think being hardworking makes the faculty or the department will know how they see how I'm doing with the courses in there. So I think that this gave me the opportunity to pursue my master's here. I have a scholarship from the department, so that's why.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I have this I have this scholarship from hardworking.
Yeah. So you were able to, from hard work and academic success, you were able to continue on to school, and it was noted.
Yeah.
Right? That's great. Congratulations to you, because that's definitely not easy to do. What campus resources, services, programs, I mean, there's like a lot, I guess. Which ones have you used here at the University of Maine? So I know the International Student Office, right?
Like offices?
Anything. It's just the question is, what campus resources have you used at the University of Maine? You know, it could be a service, it could be a program, it could be just a resource.
Like use it for
anything. So I think of the International Student Office, right? You've used that office. They help you with, your visa or ensuring any problems through immigration, or right. So there's one. Have you used the Multicultural Center? You've talked about them a lot. They're for social and just kind of chilling out here.
Yeah. I think I have to go. I have to visit the international office first before doing anything. So that's my number one help.
Right, right.
And then they direct me to where to go.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something, right, and you have a question about it, you start there,
Yeah.
and then they kind of go, oh, you need to go over here, or oh, you need to go over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Have you ever used any tutoring services or the health center, the counseling center? I don't know what else is.
I used the math tutoring.
Yeah?
I went there a couple times when I was taking math courses.
Mm-hmm.
I had no issues. So,
Yep.
yeah. I used the Kettler Health Center.
Yeah?
I went there. Yeah, I go there. So when I need help or
Yeah. So how did you find out about these services? Was it through the International Student Office or?
for example, the math tutoring from my professor, he was encouraging us to go there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I know. Or Kettler Health Center, I think from the international. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that these services met your needs? Did you think the math tutoring was successful? It met your needs when,
Yeah.
or the Cutler Health Center when you need something, they meet your needs.
Yeah, it's very helpful there.
Yeah. How would you describe these experiences for you? I know there's a lot of open-ended questions of, because again, it's about your experience.
My experience with the math tutoring was normal. I don't know, as a normal student.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did help a lot to give me like the good math background. I think there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or either with the Kettler Health Center, for example. I don't know. It's for medical like issue, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Is reaching out to medical health services here similar or different than medical services in Saudi?
I think similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
No big difference. I think no big difference in here between here and there.
Yeah. Do you ever use the counseling center here?
No.
I don't know if they would do they have counseling centers or
I think they do,
in
but
Saudi?
In Saudi, I haven't heard of that. No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Probably not
Yeah.
anything I'm familiar with either. Who are people or any organizations that you've reached out to for support?
I think my friends.
Mm-hmm.
My first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one guy, like I ask him if I have if I need any help with anything.
Mm-hmm.
I ask him first before I go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the. I have there's if I need help with academic thing, or I need like advice on doing something, I go to my advisor, or there is another guy. He is the lab manager in the
Mm-hmm.
mechanical, so I just go and ask him
Mm-hmm.
if I need any help.
Mm-hmm. So you have different people for different
Yeah.
things. So what makes this student that you go to, your friend, let me go back. Is that friend a student as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So what makes that your go-to person? Was it somebody you met here? Is it a family friend or?
I met him here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. He's smart, intelligent. I think that's why I asked
Yeah.
him. So.
resourceful, knowledgeable. Yeah. So good, awesome. And you met him here, right? So it's somebody that you. How did you meet here? Was it during a club or?
From the classrooms.
Oh, your class. Oh. We're almost done. Just a couple more. What advice would you give to other Muslim international students to help them be more prepared to live and to go to school here?
To be prepared and go to school here.
Yeah. What advice would you give to students to help them be more prepared, Muslim international students, but to be more prepared to live and go to school here?
I think the advice is for all international, not just for Muslims or I guess have the English language before you come in here. Like go to English institution before coming in here. Have at least some English background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any like for advice for Muslims. I don't know. I don't see like they should be normal.
So if you had a friend from back home that said, "Hey, I'm looking for a school to go to in the United States, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll come to Maine," right? Nothing more different from Saudi Arabia to Maine. Ice, snow, culture, climate, food. I mean, there's a lot of differences, right?
Yeah.
What would you, and they said, "Oh no, I've heard some really rough things about coming to the United States to go to school," what advice would you give them? What would you say to them about that?
About coming to school?
Yeah, if they were a little hesitant because they had heard all those stereotypes that you talked about, they had all these anxieties and worries about concerns as well. What would you tell them that would be helpful or beneficial for them to, either make that decision or, hey, you're coming, this is what might be beneficial. English language is certainly beneficial.
Yeah.
Come more prepared.
I don't know. Just have different experience from there. I don't know for something to prepare them coming to here. I think it's different from person to person. Some people come here but doesn't like it. I don't know.
But the number one thing you think is beneficial is to make sure you know your English language.
Yeah.
That's pretty important. Yeah, I hear you. Based on your experiences here, what suggestions do you have for academic or community leaders that might better support Muslim international students? So if I went to the Dina students or I went to, even Walmart, right? Like, oh, this is what might be beneficial. That would be helpful. This is a need that people think might be beneficial.
Some Muslim people, and I'm one of them. For example, for the food, we struggle, I think, a lot in here or even outside. For like we eat halal food, and I think that's one of the challenging here to find a halal food. So I think provide something for Muslims or like halal.
They don't have that here in the dining halls either.
No.
Yeah. Is there a place that just opened up in the area for that
There,
sells?
there's just
Along?
yeah, in the around downtown.
Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the longest time I only
It's-
knew of one in Portland. People would go to
Yeah.
Portland.
It's a grocery shop actually, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But restaurant,
Yeah.
it's very difficult
Yeah.
to find. Sure. No, that's so that would be important. So the food, halal food. Yeah. Any other that's a good suggestion. Any other suggestions or barriers that that you would have for, you know, President Hunter here or, you know, Dean Dana?
no, I think they are changing. I think they respect the Muslims Association, and they have something. I think they do have something like for we have holidays like religious holidays. I think they last year I think they sent something about that.
Mm-hmm.
The university system sent something about the holidays. For example, the Eid. You know,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they sent something. They. I'm not sure if I remember, but I think they were talking about holiday or something.
Mhm.
I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
So is it
that
like
was-
recognizing
Yeah.
the importance of the holiday because there's a very large population that would be impacted in, right?
Yeah.
We celebrate Christmas and other holidays. At least we acknowledge them, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was happy to see that they are accepting other religions. Here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's good. That's really nice.
yeah.
So when you talk about that they are changing, right?
Yeah.
Is that one of the changes that they're acknowledging, accepting that? Any others that you can see, or any other areas that you think the university is changing or has already changed to be more welcoming or inviting, accepting?
I think everyone is very welcoming here. So
Yeah.
Around here,
Okay.
Maine is different than I think other states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I mean, they are very friendly here.
Yeah.
I mean, not meaning the other
That's
people not
okay.
friendly, but I mean,
Those
very,
Alaskans
yeah.
are horrible. No. I got
Yeah.
that on tape. Please don't believe that. I hear you. So have you been to other states and visited other places and felt differently and have had a different experience then?
I went to Illinois, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
They are friendly here, but people from Maine, I think, is different. I don't know how they are different.
Yeah, they're different.
Yeah.
They're different. They're different. How? How would you describe if somebody says, "What do you mean they're different?"
Yeah. They welcome everyone. I think. I don't know. Very friendly, I guess. I don't know how to describe them, but
Friend describes
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. So the last question. Woohoo! All right. Overall, just generally, big picture, how would you describe the support and services available for Muslim international students at the University of Maine?
the support from
Yeah.
from the University of Maine.
Yeah. How do you think all the supports and the services, do you think that they meet student needs? How would you describe them? Do you think there needs to be more? You think there needs to be less?
I guess if we are treated as a normal people, like we don't have to be, we don't have to have like a special treatment.
Mm-hmm.
We don't wanna. I think if we have a special treatment, that will cause something. It will cause, I think, racism in here.
Mm-hmm.
If we are treated as normal people, it will be. I think it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to have a special treatment.
Mm-hmm. Just equal.
Yeah.
Equality.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Equality.
I hear you. Do you have anything else that maybe I didn't ask that you want to share about a particular experience or an example of anything that maybe didn't get covered in good, bad, or indifferent, wouldn't, that you would, think is important to your experience here?
Nothing at the moment,
Okay.
but I might, if I have something, I will email you. Yeah.
That'd be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm going to just stop all my little recordings. Look, I'm 1 hour 4 minutes. Oh, 1 hour 5 minutes.